Hey everybody, it's Marcia, Kansas Misfit, and today is the day. We're going to look at the garden, and boy, howdy, what a transformation. A lot of things happen. Let's go check it out. I can't wait for you to see. Okay, guys, here's sweet potato bed. Of course, I need to get the weeds out of it, and it looks like my husband didn't weed eat around the outside edge of these stock tanks like I asked him, and I don't like walking through the tall grass, so we're going to have to walk around it. I'm going to have to take my claw through here and get the weeds out myself, as if I don't have enough work to do. And here's the um, sweet potato bed here. I'm going to have to water that. It's starting to get dry, it looks like. Okay, let's come over here. Look at that Johnson grass. Here's our compost pile. Gotta get that cleaned up one day. Okay, let's start here where the onions are at. I had my husband mow it down, and I gotta go through here and find the onions. So you can see here's a red onion right here. More here. I'm gonna get the weeds out of this. I softened it up last night with the water hose. And here's the cucumbers. I don't know if we're gonna even be able to save that, but I'll be getting the weeds on there. And look, there's an orange one. Don't know why the cucumbers are orange. There's one hiding inside there. Can't get to it because it's underneath the cage, but I can feed those orange ones to the chickens, and it looks like every one of them are orange. The zucchini used to be here. I'm going to plant some okra and some radishes in this spot, so I look forward to that. Hopefully we get enough okra from growing it. Let's walk over here and check out the beans. Remember I told you I was going to have lots of beans this year because I wanted beans. These are the northern beans. Look how good they're growing. Even the new ones that I replanted are coming in. So that's the northern beans. There's some weeds in here, and I have some beans that needs picked up and laid up on the fence so they can climb. And this right here is the butter beans. So we'll get them going hopefully. And there's some Johnson grass I need to get out. More butter beans, I believe it is. I could be wrong. And here's the butternut squash. They're doing pretty good. And I don't know if this acorn squash, I hope it is, but that's something. And here's the black beans. They're growing nicely. Of course, I need to get in here and get the weeds out, but I've been working on getting everything done. There's already flowers starting to form on there, so you know the beans are coming soon. I can't believe I did 2 batches. In here, I replanted. This is spaghetti squash because the acorn squash died. The spaghetti squash is coming in. Of course, there's weeds in there, but you can see the spaghetti squash that I have that's growing. So, and then this here is pinto beans. Look how tall that one is. And pinto beans are doing pretty nice. I gotta get big, that Johnson grass needs to get out of there. Looky here. I've been working. In this first section, I planted, what did I plant? I'm trying to remember what I planted here, but I planted some beans here. The grass was just blown on there from when my husband mowed, so it's like a little mulch, I guess. In this section here, I planted some acorn squash. Hasn't started growing because I just planted it. And in this section here, I planted black-eyed peas. I just planted that yesterday. So they're not going to come up. You'll see that next week probably. I'm going to get the weeds out of here and put Chinese red noodle beans. In the center section, I'll be putting more acorn squash. That's my favorite because I can eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. So there's that center section. Here's going to be acorn squash, and then I'm going to put yard-long pole beans on the other section. Got cucumbers in here if I can get them out and save them. Get those weeds out of there. See how many cucumbers we get. And then from here over, it's supposed to be loofahs, which I don't think they grew. Unless they are really late starters. Now we'll come over here to the tomatoes. As you can see, my husband tilled up the area with the tractor that we got fixed. Yay! Here's some tomatoes here. I finally got the weeds out of them so they can continue growing. And here, they don't look very nice, but hey, they're giving us tomatoes. And I have 2 more tomato plants here I'm working on. Get the weeds out of these 2, and they'll be going. And then these here. And then we have, I put my little pepper plant right here. So hopefully it lives. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it will. And then cherry tomatoes. Here's the green beans. I need to get the weeds out of it and see if there's anything in here that can be harvested. I had my husband mow down that Johnson grass the best he could. Inside here is some onions. There's one right here. I just have to come through here and water it and get the weeds out around these plants so they can continue growing. And I have my cantaloupe. Here's one cantaloupe right there. And they're throughout here, and hopefully they'll climb on this fence and grow up it. So that's that. I'm going to plant carrots and onions in here. I got the peat moss to add to it. Put this here fence up. I'm going to have to flip it over because I need the smaller pieces at the top because the chickens can just climb right through that. So if I turn it over, it'll be harder for them to get in here because they keep getting in here. But I'm going to finish getting the weeds out of this, top it off with chicken poop, and then peat moss this area and that bed right over there, and plant. David wants me to put some cauliflower or broccoli or something like that in that tub over here, this big bathtub thing, stock tank. Finish getting the weeds out of that and then plant those in there and get my onions and carrots in here because they're good companion plants to go together. I need to work on getting the weeds out of these 8 tomato plants here so I can save them. And here's the kohlrabi. If the potatoes grow over there. And here's my beets. Every foot is 16 plants. 16 seeds I planted. Here's a few you can see right here. I just need to get the weeds out, water them, and if I have to fertilize them, I'll put some fish emulsion on it or something and get them to going. And that's that part of the garden. So I'll meet you over behind the garage and we'll see what's going on over there. Look at our hens and roosters everywhere. Scrounging for bugs. They go obviously everywhere. There's Brownie. I named her Brownie. And there's Beauty. And there's Bernice. There's another Beauty. Isn't she beautiful? blondies. Come over here behind the garage so you can see the progress. I just fertilized the tomatoes this morning, and then I have to work on getting the weeds out of the peppers so I can fertilize them. So here's tomatoes in that progress. There's my fertilizer, that little red bucket tub thingy. There's nothing in this here cage right here but weeds. I'm going to pull the whole thing out. I just haven't got there yet. But there's the peppers and weeds. I need to get through that. And then I can fertilize each one of those plants with this. That's my container by mix fish emulsion and water. And that's what I fertilize my plants with, because it's all natural. So I get all that done. Last but not least, let's come over here where the garlic used to be and the Brussels sprouts. So you can see I planted, you're welcome. I planted cauliflower and broccoli in here. I have 5 cauliflower and 5 broccoli, and I threw some carrot seeds in there as well. We'll see if that grows in time to give us some. I pray the Lord lets us have it, because I can take all 3 of them and put them together and make some California blend. Cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots, and freeze them in bags. And here's the Brussels sprouts. Let me see if there's any more growing on there. Yeah, it's starting to get a little more down there on the base of each one of those plants. If you look carefully, you can see the little balls forming. So yeah. That's the garden. I want to thank you for visiting with me today in the garden and seeing the progress. And I thank David so much for taking this tractor right here we've been working on for months. Finally got it running so he can till up areas of the garden where I can get in there and get things planted sooner. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow on another video. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Ta-ta.